Hey guys, welcome back to T-Bones Tech. In this video, we are going to talk about how bad the 4K crop is on the Canon EOS M50. So when recording in 4K on the EOS M50, the camera is going to crop in 1.67 times. So for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to say that it has a 1.7 times crop. And that means that if you're shooting wide at 24 millimeters, the crop is going to give you the focal length equivalent of 40 millimeters. Another example would be if you're shooting on an 85 millimeter lens, it's going to give you the focal length equivalent of 144 millimeters. Of course, that is a dramatic difference, and it's going to completely change the way you have to shoot with this camera. The 1.7 times crop factor on the EOS M50 is going to make the kit 15 to 45 millimeter lens definitely unusable for vlogging, and that's because it's simply not going to be quite wide enough. So first we have to take our 15 millimeters and multiply that times our 4K crop, which is going to give us 24. 24 is pretty wide angle, but it's going to be a little bit hard to get whole face in frame. So to put this all in 35 millimeter terms, shooting at 15 millimeters is going to give you the 35 millimeter equivalent of 40 millimeters. That's because an APS-C size sensor, which has a 1.6 times crop factor, and then the 4K crop factor, which is 1.7, is going to make your focal length of 15 millimeters all the way out to 40 millimeters, and that's why you can't vlog with the kit 15 to 45 millimeter lens. You can actually still vlog with this camera, but you need Canon's 10 to 18 millimeter lens, and you always have to be shooting all the way wide at 10 millimeters, and then you're going to need to pick up a Canon EF to EF-M mount to convert that lens and allow it to mount to the EOS M50. A lot of videographers try to get the best looking background blur, and with a 1.7 times crop factor, that is going to be very difficult. That's why full frame 35 millimeter cameras are always going to have better background blur than their counterparts with APS-C size sensors. But with the EOS M50, we have that 1.7 times crop factor when shooting in 4K. And that means that when you are shooting in 4K, your sensor is smaller. And because of that, you're going to have worse background blur. To get nice and smooth bokeh, you usually want to zoom out and use longer focal lengths if possible. I'm going to demonstrate that here with a Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter lens. Check out how this light looks when it's zoomed all the way into 35 millimeters compared to how it looked at 18 millimeters. Now if there's a scene where I need to shoot at 40 millimeters without a crop factor, I just go to 40 millimeters and my background is going to be what you guys kind of just saw. It's going to be nice and smooth. Well, if you want to shoot at the equivalent focal length of 40 millimeters, we need to zoom all the way out to 24 millimeters, and that's going to give us a lot worse looking depth of field. So just like 35 millimeters have better background blurs than cameras with APS-C size sensors, it's going to be the same story when shooting in 4K with an APS-C size sensor. Now you can still get good background blurs with the EOS M50 when shooting in 4K, but they're not going to be nearly as great as cameras with APS-C size sensors, which don't have the best bokeh to begin with. You're always going to have to be multiplying focal lengths by 1.7 to get the equivalent crop factor if you have a multi-camera setup and you're trying to get the same look across all the different cameras. So does the 4K crop on the EOS M50 make it unusable? Well, in some cases yes, and in some cases no. I definitely recommend just shoot 1080p. It's still great. It's still going to make your vlogs look absolutely amazing. This camera has eye detection AF when shooting in 1080p. It's going to make your video look extremely great. But as far as 4K goes, definitely understand there are severe limitations to 4K on this camera, and it's going to be a heck of a lot easier for you if you stick to shooting 1080p on the EOS M50. That's all I got for you guys in this video. If you enjoyed it, definitely make sure to give this video a big thumbs up down below, and of course make sure to hit that subscribe button and then be notified when I release new videos to this YouTube channel. Again, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will catch you all in the next one.